Hi, are you like I used to be, where I would tell myself things to make myself feel better because I didn't get the promotion or I didn't get the raise or I didn't get the special project that I wanted or things were just not going my way? Hi, I'm Erin, and I like to talk about all things business basics, transformation strategy, and mindset for growth. Your time is important, so let's get started. I used to tell myself these 3 lies, and once I realized that I was telling myself these and that I actually needed to change my story, that's when everything in my career began to change. So stick with me and see if these apply to you, and if they don't, think about what things might you be telling yourself instead. So this is really just to get your juices flowing and say, what are the things you might be telling yourself that are actually holding you back? So these are 3 lies that I used to tell myself. Lie number 1, I'm not good at this, and I need to work on it to get better. Now, in principle, this sounds like a great mindset to have, and it's not a bad one, but it's also not the truth in the moment. You can say that you can work on something, but there are 1,000 things, actually there's probably hundreds of thousands of things that I'm not good at. After all of these years on this earth, there are some things I'm good at, and there are a ton of things that I'm not good at. And I imagine if we're all honest with ourselves, that's probably the case for each and every one of us. There's the things we're good at, and then there's the whole boatload of things we're not good at. And if we stopped trying to move forward until we got good at something, or we told ourselves this story like, oh, I'm not good at that, I need to work on it. I'm not good at that, I need to work on it. I'm not good at that, I need to work on it. If we work on 5 things or 10 things or 20 things all at once, we're going to make such incremental progress that a year later you're going to be like, man, I'm still not good at this, and I've been working on it for a whole year. And so I changed the story that I was telling myself from one of, I'm not good at this, I need to work on it so that I can be better at it, to I'm not good at this right now. I am already working on other things that I want to make good progress on in the next 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. So I'm going to put this in my list of things that I would like to get better at in the future. And what I'm going to do right now is find somebody else that is good at it so that overall, as a team, as a group, as an organization, we can be effective and deliver the thing that we need to deliver. And my lack of knowledge on this particular topic, or my lack of being good at it at this moment in time, does not hold back the end result. So what item are you telling yourself that you're not good at and that you need to get better at, but you know that actually your plate's pretty full right now and it's counterproductive for you to work on that thing right now? And how else might you approach making sure that the reason why you think you need to be better at it still gets solved in the short term? The second lie I used to tell myself is, if I work late, my boss will know I'm a hard worker. Now, the amount of times that I have fallen into this very same lens of thinking and this very same trap, even after I realized that I was lying to myself about this, uncountable. And so I constantly have to remind myself that this one is a lie. Working late does not mean you're working harder. And this isn't one that I actually realized by myself. Probably almost 20 years ago, I had a great boss. And one night I was working late, and I was the last one in the office except for her, and she was closing everything up, and she said this to me. She said, I thought when I hired you, you were really competent, but now I'm worried because you're not able to get your stuff done during the business hours and you're having to stay late. Is there too much on your plate, or is there something else going on? And that stopped me cold. I was so taken aback. I had no words. I'm sure I flubbered something out and left, and I thought, oh my God, I'm going to get fired. And actually, the truth is, she was actually worried that I wasn't able to perform because, to her mind, she had put on my plate a truly, genuinely a 40-hour work week. It was one of the few moments in my life where a manager was so involved I don't want to say hovering, but so involved and had such a depth of understanding of what a balanced work life looked like, that the load that she was putting on all of us in my role at the time should have been able to be done easily in 40 hours. So by me working late, I thought I was showing, as a fairly new hire in the organization, I'd probably been there 2 months, that I was like really in it to win it. And she was worried that she had made a mishire. And from that experience, I realized that spending more hours on something is not the key to success. And there's if you think linearly across the spectrum, you have busy on one end and you have effective on the other end. And yes, you can have a full day and be effective, but don't mistake that for busy. So busy is on one end and effective is on the other end. And I have a separate video. I'm not sure if it'll be published by the time this one is live, but keep an eye out for my video on time management, because I really discuss how to go from busy to effective and how to cycle back through when you find yourself sliding in the trap. But the key here is staying late requires a hard look at how you're spending your time during the day and if you're busy or you're effective. This isn't too far off from work hard versus work smart. What I'm really trying to get across here is that I needed to understand in my own mind that staying late at the office and continuing to work on this or that or whatever that wasn't necessarily an urgent deadline did not actually look good to my boss's eyes or my peers. It looked like I wasn't managing my time effectively. And so the next time you think that you're staying late at the office, or that, hard work is going to get noticed, whether it's staying late at the office or some other way that you're working hard, think about whether you are being busy or whether you are being effective with your time. And this is just really all around time. And finally, we have the one that's a little bit scary to say out loud or to even think that you might be wrong about this. And I know that for a long time, even when I started sensing that I was wrong about this, I still held on to it. But it genuinely is a lie. And I'm actually speaking on a networking panel here in a few days, and this is one of the items that I fully intend to bring up, because I did not realize until I no longer believe, like it was a long journey to not believing it. But here it is. The more people I know and the more networking I do, the greater my chances of getting opportunities for promotions and raises and that sort of thing. And networking is not bad, and getting to know people is not a bad thing. It's a great thing, but you need to have a strategy for doing it. Because if you know 100 people and they all know you as somebody who is around knowing people and not actually being effective or productive or being amazing and stand out at the work that you're doing, then when an opportunity does come up, even though they know you, they won't think of you in terms of putting your name forward for that opportunity or making an introduction. So knowing a lot of people and networking is a good thing, but it needs to be purpose bent. I won't get into it in this video about the purposefulness of that. However, the key thing that I realized was to be strategic in who I was getting to know and why I was getting to know them and the perception that I wanted them to have of me. And in order for me to do that, I had to identify my values and my brand and how I wanted to show up. So that when I was meeting people and getting to know people, how I showed up as a brand, my values, my work, it stood as me, so that if an opportunity came up, they would quickly go through their Rolodex of people. And if that opportunity was a match for my brand and my work and the value that I brought to the organization, they would feel compelled to connect to me and that opportunity together. And also, they would not waste my time because I was not ambiguous in who I am and the value that I provide. They would not waste my time in an opportunity that was not a match. But until I got clear on my identity and my brand and how I was showing up and what was the value that I wanted to put out there, I continued to think, as long as I keep networking, as long as I know more people and I have this many connections on LinkedIn and I always know everybody in the coffee room by name and I'm able to say hi and do small talk, my brand was all over the place at that time and no opportunities came my way. As soon as I made this pivot, opportunity after opportunity after opportunity that led to where I went with my career all opened up. I can tell you that for almost over 15 years, about 15, let's say 15 years, I'm rounding a little bit on one side or the other. For about 15 years, I did not have a resume and did not ever need to update my LinkedIn profile because my value proposition, my brand identity was so strong that doors and opportunities were open for me at the right time in the right ways. So this is a critical one. Do not get to know people for people's sake, and knowing more people will not open those doors. You have to get clear on your brand. All right, that is it from me. Those are my 3 lies that I used to tell myself, and everything changed in terms of my career trajectory and how I spent my time and how I thought about my career once I stopped believing those lies and I realized how else I might approach work. If these things have helped you, I would love it if you give this video a thumbs up, and of course share it with anybody that you think needs to hear it. Have a great day. I will catch you soon. Bye.